Good afternoon, my dear friends. Today I will show you a video about a friendly family of kittens and tell you interesting stories about the life of cats in different families. Listen carefully and write in the comments what you liked most of all. Sometimes animals are much more than just pets to us. They are our guardian angels who help us through life's difficulties and the toughest times. Although many people are convinced that cats are rather selfish creatures, this selection proves once again how they are able to feel human beings and help. Every year in the UK, they organize a national cat awards competition where owners tell stories about their hero cats. Here are a few of those stories. 2 years ago, 2 cats appeared in a nursing home in the English town of St. Leonard's, and they haven't left its walls to this day. The pair Weasley and Jinx help the elderly people to relieve stress. They are always there for the elderly, comforting them and happily giving their love. All of the seniors love these fluffy cats and are always happy to see them. The staff notes that the presence of cats affects the patients in an extremely positive way. When Cindy Grosser was 18 years old, the girl was diagnosed with psychosis due to mental health problems. She was tormented by hallucinations and negative thoughts and tried to commit suicide. A friend suggested that Cindy get a pet, and she found a kitten named Nala at a local shelter. After a few days with the pet, the girl is on the mend. She has attacks of obsessive negative thoughts, but the cat always feels it and comes to calm and help. Now Cindy is successfully studying at the university. Her life has changed dramatically, largely thanks to Nala. The Nelson family lives 5 minutes from Co-op Funeral Care's Mayfield's Remembrance Park Cemetery in the UK. For the past few years, the 8-year-old cat has been visiting the cemetery daily, interacting with visitors and comforting those who have come to say goodbye to loved ones. Many people know him and write about him online as the furry therapist at the cemetery. Nelson's owners are supportive of his outings and are only too happy that their pet can help someone deal with a little bit of grief. A boy named John has severe learning difficulties and a range of conditions, including atactic cerebral palsy, which affects his physical, mental, and emotional development. But the boy has the most faithful helper of all, the cat Virginia. The cat herself lost a paw when she was hit by a car, but that doesn't stop her from helping her little owner. Virginia is more than just a pet. She accompanies John everywhere, calming him down and watching his every move, from the way he eats to taking walks together. She even watches him before he goes to bed, and only falls asleep when he falls asleep. Virginia is always by John's side. Marlene, 25, suffers from cranial instability and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. The girl can barely hold her head up, is prone to fractures, dislocations, and suffers from seizures. But she has a favorite pet, Penelope, who always senses when Marlene is about to have a seizure. She immediately runs to her relatives if it happens at night and warns them with her alarming meow. Marlene may feel ill after a seizure, but Penelope always sits by her side to comfort her. Betty, a 9-year-old girl diagnosed with leukemia, endured a lot of grueling chemotherapy, battled several infections, and spent a lot of time in the hospital. Throughout this period, her beloved cat Doris was by her side. She brought fun and laughter into the girl's life, despite her diagnosis and challenges. She showed her every time that life is beautiful and full of joy. Together with her, the girl managed to overcome the disease. Now she is undergoing the last course of treatment, after which she will return to school and start a normal life again. American family Peter and Linda Grest have experienced grief. Their young daughter Elizabeth died on just her 5th day of life after complications at birth. The couple found solace in an unexpected way. At the time, a box containing 4 tiny kittens was dropped off in their yard. The couple nursed them back to health, and it helped them take their minds off their loss for a little while. As the kittens grew older, the couple found owners for them, but kept one of them for themselves. Bruno has become a full-fledged member of the family. The owners love him, and the kitty reciprocates. Leo came into the life of his owner named Eleanor when the girl was 8 years old and he was a tiny kitten. Eleanor had serious mental health issues, attempted suicide, and was taken into foster care when she was 15. All this time Leo was her guardian angel, who never left the girl. Now Eleanor is already 26 years old, and she and Leo live in the girl's own home. He is already an old man, and now Eleanor helps him in everything and supports him as Leo once helped her. In 2013, Britain's Eva and Michael lost their first child. They experienced grief for a long time, and soon Michael was taken away for service, and Eva was coping alone. One day she happened to hear about a stray one-eyed cat they found on the street in her neighborhood and decided to take him in. That meeting was fateful. Tiger became the woman's best friend. Thanks to him, she got out of depression, began to leave the house more often, and after her husband returned from the service, they decided to try to have a child. Now their son is 4 years old. A cat named Boss lived with his loving family from a small kitten. At the age of 80, his owner George had a stroke with severe consequences. He became an invalid, but the cat remained for him the best friend, and even more. Boss was always near, he calmed the owner, made him laugh, and gave positive emotions every day. The cat himself once fell under a car and was injured, but quickly recovered, although he lost one eye. Now he and his owner, like two brave fighters for life, have become even friendlier and closer. Agatha, a nurse at the veterinary clinic, was caring for a cat named Simba who was hit by a car. The cat had several injuries and was on a roll, but the staff managed to save him. Later, a nurse took the kitty in because she was very used to him. But the joy didn't last long. Soon Agatha's husband was diagnosed with cancer, and she spent all her time with him in the hospital while her 17-year-old son and Simba were at home. A month later, Agatha's husband passed away, a heartbreak for the whole family. But during the most difficult times, Simba was their main outlet and joy. It was as if he sensed everything and comforted Agatha and her son, who, according to Agatha, took his father's death particularly hard. A few years passed, and the sadness subsided. But Agatha still says Simba's kind heart made it easier for them, and they are incredibly grateful to fate for having him in their lives. A resident of Ireland named Catherine found a stray cat near her home. She decided to take him to her, and named him Dixie. After a while the girl got pregnant, but unfortunately, after half a term she lost the baby. She fell into a severe depression, did not go anywhere, saw no point in living. Even moving to Scotland didn't help. Although Dixie was always near the girl, her grief was stronger. But after a while, her favorite cat was hit by a car, injured, and lost a paw. Catherine began to take care of the pet. According to her, it suddenly became a meaning for her. But after Dixie recovered, Catherine also began a new life. She started working with a psychologist and got back to normal. In Alex's private home, Smokey the cat was stealing socks from the owner and taking them somewhere. When more than 10 pairs of socks were missing, the owner decided to trace where the cat was taking them. It turned out that the cat was taking them to the dog's box to keep him warm. The owner did not scold the cat, but on the contrary praised him and fed him delicious food. The owner brought a plaid for the dog and insulated the box. When the family moved to a house on a neighboring street, the cat would return to the former house to the new residents. The new owners of the house threw the cat out and tried to find its owner. After a while, through advertisements on poles, the owners from the neighboring street were found. Smokey was returned to his owners, but the cat kept running away from his new place of residence. After many attempts to return the cat, the family who bought the house decided to keep the cat, and his owners were not against it. The cat was so attached to the place of residence that he was ready to leave his owners and live with new ones. Employees of one of the stores in the city fed a street cat. In gratitude, the cat brought mice and birds under the doorstep in exchange for food. But the store owners defiantly threw away the cat's prey. Then the cat brought a twig from a tree, and after it was taken away, it began to regularly bring twigs, leaves, and flowers. The store owners kept all the plants that the cat brought, even created a corner gratitude from the cat and showed it to the visitors of the store. This cat's ingenuity is to be envied. In a small town, a street cat came up with an interesting scheme to get food. Every day the cat caught a mouse and brought it under the door of a private house, waiting for someone to come out. When the owners came out and saw the cat with the mouse, they fed him. After lunch, the cat would take his mouse and go to the next door of the private house. During the day, the cat ate regularly and well. In one family there lived a cat and a sheepdog. They were friends and committed thefts at the market. The cat and the dog did not starve, lived in the family, but had a hobby to go to the market and steal meat. The cat approached the counter and rubbed against it. The dog realized that the target was chosen and grabbed a piece of meat. The stolen meat was always brought home. When this scheme was noticed at the market, the dog and cat were chased away and kept away from the market. Perhaps now they have a new hobby or a new crime scene. With this story, my dear friends, I will end today's narratives about beloved pets. Next time I will prepare many more interesting stories, and you please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and put a like to the video. See you soon.